exactly why. Like their name suggests, they can be found right here in the North Pacific Ocean, but their range extends all the way down to northern Mexico, up to Japan, and up to Alaska, and even over to the coast of Japan. Has anyone here actually seen a Pacific white-sided dolphin before? I see a couple hands go up. Awesome. But for those of you who haven't, never fear. Every year we're seeing more and more of them right here in our own backyards in Vancouver. In fact, most recently they were showcasing their amazing acrobatics and lively nature in Howe Sound, not too far away from where we are.
The oceans before, have no fear. They are becoming a much more common sight in the waters off of the British Columbia coast. And in fact, they were most recently spotted in Howe Sound, showing just how incredibly acrobatic they can be. Now we mentioned unbelievable abilities, power, speed, everything we've talked about already. These animals do have a unique story to share. Now our 3 Pacific white-sided dolphins know firsthand how dangerous the oceans can be. In fact, all 3 of these dolphins were rescued from fixed fishing nets off the coast of Japan. They were rescued, rehabilitated, and deemed non-releasable by the Japanese.
Helen was found in Tango in fishing net 15 years ago in 1996, and as you can see, there's the most visible injuries from her experience. You might have just noticed that Helen's pectoral flippers that she was just showing off for us are a little bit smaller than what we would see on Spinnaker and on Hannah. This is because cities in Canada. Which city is it? Montreal. Montreal, very nice. Montreal, one of the largest cities in Canada. What's the other one? It's in Ontario. Toronto, nicely done everyone. A little bit of geography. Those 2 large cities are not right beside, but they are somewhat close to a population of belugas that lives in the St. Lawrence River. Now those people don't rely on the belugas for food, but they do rely on those belugas economically, because what's going to happen is you can actually go to the St. Lawrence where 1,000 belugas live, and you can go out on a whale watching tour. Now hopefully what you might be seeing, or what you might think you would see, is a very big behavior of a beluga jumping or breaching the water. But in fact, as we've mentioned, that's not necessarily what belugas tend to do. As you're seeing right here on the side, Keela working with Kristen, she's doing what's called a dorsal present, and that's more likely what you would see, not something like that. Lovely Kavna breaching the water there. A big behavior. They tend to do more of the smaller behaviors hanging out at the surface of the water. Now, even though it may not seem impressive, that dorsal ridge that you're seeing on Keela is actually very important for scientists to identify individual whales. Now, just like your fingerprints is individual and unique to yourself. Absolutely. Dolphins and boats alike go zipping through waters at incredible speeds. Pacific white-sided dolphins can travel at speeds of up to 35 kilometers an hour. That's actually faster than the speed limit here in Stanley Park, and that's what Helen's going to demonstrate for us right now as she starts zipping around the corner. Now watch out for her because she goes pretty fast, but you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, and that's what she's showing us now. Now these waters that our dolphins are traveling through are teeming with life, and the deeper you go, the darker it seems to get. Yet dolphins have the incredible ability to actually penetrate that darkness with sound. And they do this through an animal form of sonar called echolocation. Listen. Very happy to tell you that you already have. Just by visiting the Vancouver Aquarium, as we are a non-profit organization, every cent that you spend to come into our doors and get to know our animals goes right back into our research and conservation programs, like our Marine Mammal Rescue Center. Our Marine Mammal Rescue Center has been in operation for over 40 years, rescuing and rehabilitating animals that we can find off our coast. Pacific white-sided dolphins are certainly not our most popular patient. That title happens to go to harbor seals, and this summer alone we rescued over 150 of them. Although past patients also include a killer whale, a gray whale, California sea lions, and of course many others. Now, if you'd like to understand about more ways you can help, I'd like to encourage you to come on back, visit us here at the aquarium, invest in a membership, or even become a volunteer. But most importantly, what we can all do is share the absolutely incredible story of Spinnaker, Hannah, and Helen, our three Pacific white-sided dolphins who know exactly how dangerous our oceans can be and now act as ambassadors protecting their species from these threats in the ocean. Now, on behalf of our dolphins, our trainers, and myself, Tess, I'd like to thank everyone
covered with these eye cups. Once their eyes are covered, we ask them to swim through the habitat and we listen to the sounds they're making with underwater hydrophones. Through this research, we're trying to better understand the sounds they make to find their way around and how exactly they are still getting entangled in those fixed fishing nets. Now, most importantly, with all of this research, what we're trying to find out, again, is how we can help. And we're dedicated to answering that question, how can we help? Now, if you find yourself asking the very same question, what can I do to help? How can I help? We're so excited to tell you that you already have helped us here just by coming to the Vancouver Aquarium. We are a non-profit organization, so all the money spent here at the aquarium goes back to the animals. It goes to our conservation efforts and our rescue efforts and our research efforts that we do right here. Specifically, one of the things that money helps us to fund is our Marine Mammal Rescue Center. Now, we've had that in operation for over 40 years, and we've been able to help animals like Pacific white-sided dolphins that you're seeing here today. More commonly, the animals we end up seeing are harbor seals, as you might see in the habitat behind the dolphins here. And in fact, this past year, we've had over 150 harbor seals brought to us. Now, every animal counts when it comes to rescue and rehabilitation because we learn so much from each individual animal. If you find yourself asking, what else can I do? Pardon me. We want to encourage you to think about donating your time to us. We'd love to have volunteers here at the Vancouver Aquarium helping us do our research and work with the public coming here to learn about these incredible animals. If you don't have time to donate, we like your money, we'll be honest. We can still use that money to help us with our efforts that we do every single day. The biggest and most important thing that you can do to help us out is share the story of Spinnaker, Hannah, and Helen. Three incredible Pacific white-sided dolphins who know firsthand just how dangerous our oceans can be. These dolphins act as incredible ambassadors for their species from these threats in the ocean. By sharing their story, you are helping animals like Spinnaker, Hannah, and Helen out in the ocean. On behalf of myself, Anna, Charlotte, Spinnaker, Hannah, and Helen, thank you so much for coming to the Vancouver Aquarium today. Make sure you stick around, there's so much more to see and learn. Thank you so much for coming.
So smart. So jealous.
My name's Lauren. If you have any questions, please feel free to join me on the dock at the side of the habitat here. I'd love to have a chat with you or answer any questions you might have. And once again, thank you so much for coming.